I've been all in my phone, I got options. And I don't wanna tell you to drop it, but I don't wanna play your fair, yeah.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Bella, and welcome back to my channel for another video. As you guys can tell by the title, today's gonna be another story time. Without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend to join the family. And make sure y'all tell y'all cousins to tap in with me too. I'm gonna leave my social medias down below just so you guys can stay connected, and let's get straight into it. I know by the title this sounds crazy, and y'all probably like, girl, did this really happen? Like, did a shooter really come into your school? Yes, this really happened, y'all, and I'm gonna put the receipts towards the end of this video, or when the receipts time pop up. I want to also go ahead and give a trigger warning just in case anybody is triggered by stories that include shooters or anything that has to do with that story, because honestly, y'all, this is becoming more and more common nowadays, and this is not cool. It's not a good thing, and I feel like nowadays you hear more about this on the news, you hear about it everywhere on social media, you just hear about it more often. And we need to do better. Put the guns down. You need to do better, like seriously, especially kids that cannot defend themselves. Like, be for real. Anyways, before I start rambling, so this story time did take place when I was in elementary school, so I do remember it, y'all, and I remember the day. I remember how scared everyone felt. Yeah, so this day was a regular day for me. It was the morning when my grandmother and my mother took me and my sisters to school. They got us ready, we woke up, we ate something, and then we was on our way to school. We didn't really live that far from school. It literally wasn't that far. We literally lived across the street from school. So we didn't need no car, bus, train, plane, or a motherfucking scooter to get to school, because school was literally across the street. I was upset this day just like every other day. I was upset when I was in elementary school because I did not like to leave my mom, y'all. I hated to leave my mom. Like, I remember my first day of kindergarten. I remember I held her belt so tight. I just personally hated leaving my mom. Like, I did not want to go to school. So most mornings I was literally just crying for my mom. So boom, my mom gets us ready. We go across the street. We go into the school. And usually when we used to go into the schools, it used to be Miss, I don't know if I should say real names or not, but I feel like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna say real names. I'm gonna just say like their initials or something, because they were in the story and these were the real people. So anyways, we had this teacher, and she was like not really a teacher. She was a lunch lady, and she used to like always be by the door, and she used to like, I'm gonna just call her Miss R. She used to always take the kids in. Like, basically they used to watch the kids go into the school by the two front doors, but that was only if you were, I think, in second grade. But me and my sister, I was in kindergarten and my sister was in first grade. So being that we were so young, we had to go through the front entrance of the school. So when we get into school, y'all, it smelled like school. Like, I don't know if y'all know how school smells. Obviously I think y'all do, but in my elementary school we had like a specific scent. Like, it was like a cafeteria scent. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But so when I get in there, it's a regular day. It was hot as, y'all, it was hot as hell. It was hot as hell in that school, okay? It really was. Like, our school did not have a good air conditioning. Our school was very broke at this time. Like, barely nothing was updated. We used to go to school with regular clothes, like shorts and shirts. Like, a lot of parents used to always send their kids in shorts because we didn't really have air conditioning like that. And y'all, I don't know if y'all remember, but when we was younger, it used to get hot in like May. Like, literally in May, it used to be hot as hell. So we walk in, it's hot, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe when we walk in, we either go downstairs to the, we go downstairs to the cafeteria and find our class, and then our teachers come and they come and pick us up, and then we head on to class. It's not really like where, oh, you go to class, you wait for your teacher, and then when your teacher comes, you can go ahead and sit down. No, this is elementary school, so everything is like supervised. So they have like teachers and stuff. We had to go down to the cafeteria, and we had to wait for our teachers. Like I just said, it was hot as hell during these times. So being that it was so hot in our school and we didn't really have that much air conditioning in our classes, the teachers didn't have the students doing too much, and it was the end of the school year. So honestly, we would just do the regular routine, like reading in the morning, math afternoon, and science if we had science, like just stuff like that. But since it was towards the end of the year, we had the award ceremony coming up. Being that we had that award ceremony coming up, we didn't have much to do but practice for that award ceremony. So during my time in elementary school, we used to go to lunch around 11:30, maybe 11:45-ish. After lunch, we would go upstairs and do an activity. I remember we always had an activity to do after lunch. It was either sitting on the rug and the teacher reading us a story, or we had to do like a spelling challenge or something, I would never forget it. It was every time after lunch, and our teachers used to give us like prizes and stuff if you had things right and stuff like that, or we used to do homework check, and if you had stuff right, you got like a prize. Right after lunch, we would always do an activity, and right after we did that activity, during this time, y'all, we used to always do our play. Like, we used to practice for this play. So y'all, this play was the Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water's road. Yeah, I don't know if y'all know that, but I'm gonna play a little clip of how the song goes. So we had to perform this play, and we was getting ready to practice for this play. I would never forget this day, y'all. Like, literally, I can literally picture us. We was on the colorful rug, and the way our classroom was set up was, I don't know how to explain it. Picture a classroom. Our rug was towards the back of the room. She had her what's that called? She had her you know that board? She had a board there, her chair, and then like books behind her. Then we had like our tables were in the front of the room, and then we had like a whole library around the classroom. So this specific day, our activity after we came up from lunch was her reading a book. Like, she was reading a book by Patricia Polacco, and I remember Patricia Polacco books always stood out to me because my sister's name is Patricia, and I could never understood how this teacher, she knew how to say Patricia Polacco, but she pretended like she couldn't pronounce my sister's name, and my sister's name is Patricia. But even though we call my sister Trisha or Trish, Disha, stuff like that, she acted like she could not pronounce my sister's name. So when she used to read Patricia Polacco books, I used to always be like, because I didn't understand how she used to say Patricia Polacco, but she couldn't say my sister's name. So, and Patricia Polacco books were actually really good books. So I used to be really like intrigued with her book. So I would never forget, she was reading a Patricia Polacco book, and then after she starts asking questions and we raising our hands, whatever, answering the questions, everybody's getting their point of view on the story out. So after we got done reading our book, yeah, so after we got done reading the Patricia Polacco book, we already knew what time it was. Right after we did our play, we had like one more thing to do, and then it was time to go home. We answered our questions, everybody gets up, and we start heading our positions on the rug, because that's where like we used to practice for the play. Like, I'm sorry for looking down, but we used to practice for the play on the rug. So yeah, get up, regular routine, and then our teacher, we gonna name her Miss T, she was getting ready to play the song, and she did. So we already start doing our little dances, our little hand our little hand movements and stuff like that. And next thing you know, like the second or third time when we're in the middle of doing our hand movements, all of the kids, all of us are on the rug. Like, we're not sitting on the rug, we're standing on the rug, and we're like dancing and singing the lyrics to Itsy Bitsy Spider, because we was performing it for our parents for the award ceremony, y'all. So I don't know if y'all know this or if y'all school used to do this, but sometimes when students were going home, they didn't call this regular phone. Like, they used to call it through a loudspeaker. Like, in my elementary school, they used to do that a lot. Like, if sometimes it was a student going home, or like if someone from the office needed to contact somebody from like one of the classrooms, they'll just like talk through the speakers kind of, and like the teachers could respond, they could hear, and we could hear them, basically. So I remember we was in the middle of playing the Itsy Bitsy, and then our security guard from the front desk, she already knew like most of the parents. She's been working there for years and years and years, so she knew most of the parents. So in my elementary school, they used to have school safety in the front, and then you used to, once you give your like information to the school safety, you could go ahead and go on into the office. So she was one of the school safety people, and I would never forget because I remembered her voice, y'all, because I always used to talk to her, and my family knew her. Like I was telling y'all, when kids used to go home, or like if teachers and the staff used to need to contact each other, they used to sometimes talk to the speaker or just call the phone. But this time, the school safety lady, she's calling for Miss T, and she's literally saying, she's like, Miss T, she's saying Miss T's full name. She's like, Miss T, and Miss T is like, yes. But the thing was, everybody started looking at each other. Like, I would never forget, me and all my classmates, we started looking at each other because this school safety lady sounded worried. Like, it didn't sound like Miss T like the way she usually was, like Miss T, Miss T. It was Miss T, like almost like in shock kind of. So I remember just like looking around and just like, I automatically like felt like something was wrong, but I didn't know nothing was wrong. And then I also got excited, y'all, because I thought my mom was coming to get me. Like I told y'all, I used to love being around my mom so much when I was younger, to the point I didn't want to leave her, not even to go to school. Seriously, y'all. So I'm like, yeah, my mom came to get me. My mom came to get me. Girl, no. My mama didn't come to get me. She wasn't coming to get me. Now at this point, the security guard, she has said, I mean, the school safety lady, she has said Miss T's name like 3 times, y'all. Like, she's like, Miss T, Miss T, Miss T. Camera's about to cut off. Hold on, I'll be right back. So my thought right after, I'm like, oh, my mom is here to get me. My next thought was, oh shit. For the simple fact, and I was like 5, maybe 6 years old. Oh, I think I was 5. Because I was in kindergarten. I probably wasn't like, oh shit. I probably was like, oh my god, where's my mommy? I was like, oh, something's wrong. Like, I know something's wrong. Because the next thing you know, the security guard, after she said Miss T 3 times, she's like, there's a shooter in the school, lock all the doors. I said, huh? Wait, huh, girl, what? There's a what in the school? Who? Huh? What the fuck? Y'all, mind you, this is going hella fast. Like, I know I'm explaining it a little slow, but this is going hella fast. So next thing you know, Miss T, she starts going crazy, and she locked her door. Like, she ran to the back of her desk, like her personal desk in the back. Our teachers, I feel like all of our teachers in elementary school, if you went to my elementary school, you know our teachers had like a personal private desk that you couldn't go to the back of unless they sent you back there. So she runs back there, she goes gets her key, and she locks the door from the inside, because the classroom used to lock from the inside as well. So she goes and she locks the door, and then next thing you know, she grabs all of the tables, and she's like, come on guys, help me. And all of us start grabbing tables, and we're pushing them against the doors. Like, we're putting tables on the doors, and right after we're done putting tables on the doors, we have to hide. So everybody, we go in, we hide, and then I remember, next thing you know, my principal, I would never forgive him. I will never forget him. His name was Mr. B. I don't know if I could really say his name. He retired though when I was in elementary school. I feel like he retired when I was in like the 4th or 5th grade. But he did retire, and I really love and appreciate that principal. He also, I think, was a principal for my... No, he probably was like assistant or something. But he knew my mom really well. I remember somebody starts playing with the latch of the door. Like, they're moving it up and down, and now they're knocking. So we're like... So all the kids are like panicked. We're like in shock. We're like, what the hell is going on? Like, we're like all sad. Some of the kids was crying. Like, it was hectic, I'm not gonna lie. But we're like all trying to be quiet, because our teacher, Miss T, she's like telling us to be quiet. So like I was saying, somebody was playing with the latch, and Miss T, I would never forget, she walked to the door, and she looked like she was scared. Of course she was probably scared, because hello. But she walked to the door. My principal was the one who was knocking, and he was announcing himself. So he was like, it's Mr. B, it's Mr. B. Exit out, we're with the police. Yeah, I would never forget. The police came so fast. Like, so fast. Like, I would never forget. He knocked on the door. My teacher opened the door. She moved the tables and stuff, and then it was like 7 officers by the door, and they're like, come on, let's go, hurry up, everybody, come on. Like, they're rushing us out the door. I remember one of my friends, she had like her shoe came off, like from how fast like everybody was rushing, walking, like pushing through the door and stuff, because the cops were rushing us out. And our classroom was by the end of the hall, inside of 2 doors. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's literally how it was. It was the end of the hall, but it wasn't really. Oh yeah, if you close those doors, it was 2 doors, but they used to always keep them open because of the 2 classrooms that's there. If you walk down the stairs and go to that door that's on the side, that's the way to exit through the back of the building. So our classroom was a fast exit, and I remember this whole time all I kept thinking was about my sister, because I'm like, where's my sister? Like, because the way my sister's classroom was, once you walk inside of the building, like if you were a shooter and you walk inside of the building, the first classroom you can go to was the classroom that my sister was in. Like, so I'm like, where's my sister? Like, what the hell? Like, I want my sister. So at this point I'm crying, because I'm like, I want my sister. Like, and I remember we were walking hella fast, and I remember I kept asking her, my sister. And we're like, we were walking hella fast, basically running. Like, we were jogging, running type shit, because our teacher's like, hurry up, come on. And it's hella officers, they're guiding everyone. Once you walk in the building, all you gotta do is walk straight, and they like straight was the principal's office, but if you go this way, like the door right next to it was my sister's classroom. And my sister was in dual language when we were younger, both of us were. So this day I remember she had the English class, and if she had the Spanish class, she would have been on the other side of the hallway, but she was in the classroom that was directly in front of it. So I'm like, oh my god, like I hope nothing's wrong with my sister, like goddamn. I wasn't saying all that though, y'all, because obviously I was a little girl, I was young as hell, like I don't know what was going on. I remember at this point, now we're walking, at this point we're all the way by the park. We went by like Highland Park, and I'm not gonna not say the name of the park just because I'm gonna put the like information on the screen, like the screenshots about that day or whatever. I remember we walked towards that park, and then next thing you know, all you see is a whole bunch of parents. Like there's parents everywhere, there's people everywhere, like there's people everywhere, and the teachers are like trying to calm everyone down. Like they're trying to calm down the kids, they're trying to calm down the parents, they're trying to calm everybody down, y'all, because everybody was literally a mess. Everybody was just trying to calm down each other. There's kids crying, there's parents crying, there's parents like, where's my kid, where's my kid? So for me, being that I lived literally across the street from the school, my mom seen where the kids were running. So the first person I saw, like literally 3 minutes after we got to where we were running toward, because of course we have fire drills, we have stuff like that, drills that we used to practice for. So we had places where we would stay, like where we would go in case of an emergency. So in like 3 minutes, I look up and I see my mom. Like I remember I saying, mom. My mom was crying, like she was crying so hard. Like my mom could not stop crying, like she was crying. She's like, where's your sister, where's your sister? I was like, I don't know. And when she asked me where was my sister, I start crying because I'm like, where's my sister? Like, how nobody got my sister? Where my sister at? I know it's been like 5 minutes, but where's my sister? So my stepdad, he went and we found my sister. So thank God, y'all, that everybody was safe this day. Nobody got hurt, nobody got shot, nobody got killed, nobody got stabbed, nothing, nobody got harmed. Everybody got out of school. Thank God for the cops. They came hella fast. Like I'm talking about hella fast. This whole day happened very quickly. It was shocking that it happened, y'all. After we found my sister, we ended up going back into the school after the cops cleared everything. They had ended up getting the guy, I think he was in the our 5th floor or 4th floor bathroom, in one of the stalls. He didn't have no kids. I think he tried to grab a kid, or one of the kids were not accounted for in the classroom. He didn't take no one, he didn't harm no one, he didn't shoot no one. He did threaten to harm himself, I believe it was, but he was being chased from something else already from the cops. And what he did was he decided to go run into our school, where it was elementary students from kindergarten to 5th grade. Our elementary school was. Stuff like this honestly is like very weird, y'all. Like it's very weird to think that I actually been through this, especially thinking about all the stories that are happening nowadays, like how crazy nowadays people be and how they're going to school or they're harming children. Like it's getting crazy. And I thank God for this situation, that everybody that was in my school ended up making it out alive. Everybody was safe, everybody got their kids back that they sent to their school. And that's very unfortunate to anybody who has a situation like that, where you guys had sent a child to school and you guys didn't receive y'all baby back home or something, because I would like die if I had that feeling like that. It's so sad to feel, and I pray for all of y'all and I love all of y'all. But I remember after my mom accounted of both of her kids, we went into the main office and we got signed out of school. Not signed out of school, but they signed us out for the day. They took us home early, even though it was like 30 minutes left to school. It wasn't really that long until dismissal time, which was honestly even more insane, because like, what if you tried to really harm somebody during dismissal? My mom signed us out, and I remember the next day it was like a whole bunch of camera crews. And even right after the situation, it was a whole bunch of camera crews. It was a whole bunch of cameras and news stations. And what's crazy is this happened in 2008 when I was in kindergarten, y'all. So since being that it was 2008, y'all know social media wasn't that popular. Yeah, so I tried to like search for like proof and information about this day. And because I remember literally being at home the next day and watching like my teachers and like students and my friends, they were on the news talking about this day and this situation that happened. I was like, dang, I couldn't find out one thing, but I did find an article. I'm gonna place all of the information that I found about this right here on the screen. It was a scary situation to be in, and I really hope that this world does better. That's all I can say. Me and my sister didn't go back to school for the rest of the year. I believe it was probably for our award ceremony, then I think to get our report cards, probably like 2 days after that. But we didn't go to school for the rest of the year. It wasn't that many days, I believe, till school ended. But I remember a whole bunch of parents wasn't sending their kids to school, y'all, because everybody was just scared about the situation. Like, it was new for everybody. Parents didn't know what was going on. People felt like they needed more security, stuff like that. Yeah, y'all, I remember, I'm sorry if I'm not looking directly at the camera, I'm just like literally putting myself back in that place. But I remember I was just so scared, and I just really wanted to be back with my family, and thank God, thankfully, that everybody got back. Anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend to join the family. I love you guys. My camera is dying, and it keeps turning off on me, so I love you guys. Peace.
I've been all in my phone, I got options, and I don't wanna tell you to drop it, but I don't wanna